Panola Pride with your host this morning, Jerry Hansen.
To another edition of Panola Pride, the heartbeat of East Texas. My guest today is Sallie Amburn. She is president of Unit 353 of the American Legion Auxillary, and she's also vice president of 3rd District. So we welcome you to our program, and good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
You're quite welcome. Something that many of you may be aware of, yet many of you may not be aware of, is the responsibilities and duties of the American Legion Auxillary. We thought we'd spend a little time today bringing you up to date on that organization, whether it be here in Panola County or in the surrounding areas. Talk about what Unit 353 does, and maybe we'll encourage you to inquire of your local units around our listening audience. But Sallie, let's start out and talk about what are the requirements to be a member of the Auxillary.
Okay, it's based on the American Legion. Our Constitution and all is nearly the same as the American Legion. And what we are, we're the mothers, sisters, daughters, granddaughters, and great-granddaughters, and wives of veterans who have served during wartime. Now, to be a member of the American Legion and the American Legion Auxiliary, the veteran does not have to have actually served in the war, but just so that they were served active duty during the time of the war.
Okay.
For example, during the recent Desert Storm, both my sons are in the Army. One actually went to Saudi, the other was just serving, but they are both eligible for membership in the American Legion. And the Auxiliary, like I said, are the female relatives of these veterans. And we're very proud of our veterans, and that's basically what we're for, is to work for the veterans and to work for promoting patriotism and consciousness of what our country stands for.
I know that in any organization there has to be dues paid. There has to be a way to support your effort. Let me put it that way.
Yes, there is. Right now, our local dues are $15 a year. Of this, $11 goes to the state and national, or our state office, and we refer to as department. So if I slip and say department, y'all will know I'm talking about the state of Texas here. And we keep $3 for ourselves. This is for senior members, that's 18 and over.
Mm-hmm.
We also have juniors who are, their dues are only $250 a year. And this is for any of the female who are from birth to 18 years.
Okay.
And
so a brother or sister that still would be in high school, for example, could participate if they so desired.
They could, and it's so neat to hear people at recent state convention. I was talking to a lady who is now a district officer in her district, and she has technically been a member of the American Legion Auxiliary since she was 2 days old. Her grandmother, as soon as she was born, immediately went and bought or paid her dues to become a junior member, and she has been a member ever since. Now, we're anticipating that there's going to be a raise in the dues at state and national level this year, so next year we will probably have to go up on our dues. In fact, that may be required that we send more to the state and national before the end of the fiscal year. Well, we're not going to raise our dues until next year's dues notices go out. So we're going to lose any money that we would keep for our local unit doing this.
Possibility of it going to the state then?
Yes.
Okay.
Like I said, if we're now sending $11 to state and national, and if the anticipated dues rates go up, we will be sending $14, which would only leave $1 per member for our local unit. And right now, or this last year, we had 63 senior members and 31 junior members.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Actually, according to state standards, we're a very small unit.
Well, every organization has to have dues, and it doesn't make any difference whether it goes up 50 cents or $5. There's always that controversy that goes along with that, but that's just part of the game, and I think that everybody is facing the same throughout the American Legion Auxiliary in the state of Texas.
We are. Like I said, our goal, our membership last year was technically 94 because we count the seniors and juniors, and we have to have 95. Every year they add one more person to us to reach the goal of the coming year. Right now, We have only been sending in membership for this coming year for 1 month, and right now we have 27% of our membership in. Now, last year we reached 111% of our goal. So
Good.
we went over. Of course, that makes us have to get more for this year. It's kind of, we always want to go over that 100%. I don't care what. We want to go over that 100%. And I would like to add that 3rd District, which we're a part of, has been #1 in the state for several years running. We have had a higher percentage of membership. Now, we do not have a higher number because this East Texas area is rather sparse compared to when you get into Dallas, or we have one unit in Orange, Texas, that one unit has nearly as many members as the whole 3rd District.
Whole 3rd District. Well, but you're in basically an impacted area right there with a lot of retired military in that area, especially
Yes,
in the Orange area where you had the shipyards and all that going in.
Yes.
Well, let's talk a little bit. You mentioned the word goal, and you were referring to goal of membership, but your organization has several goals set forth. Basically, I would think that you're a support group. But let's talk about. You talked about your requirements, your purposes, but what are your goals? What are you trying to do? In general, what is your purpose?
Like I said, to help the veterans, any veterans in anywhere, the auxiliary helps. On local level, of course, Jerry, you had Marie Pickett and I on a few years ago about the poppy fund.
Right.
The money that we get from those poppies, it cannot be spent on stationery or whatever general expenses. That money goes strictly to help the veterans, and 2/3 of that is kept here in Panola County. We send 1/3 to state, which goes to the operation of the volunteer programs in the VA hospitals. But locally, anytime, I think this last time we had about $900 collected at Poppy Day, so we had $600 that we got to keep and spend right here in Panola County. And some of the things we have done with them in the past locally, sometimes some of our veterans get down and out. In fact, the homeless rate is largely veterans, I understand. But in Panola County, we have done such things as put up deposits for someone who has had to move.
Utility
Yes,
deposits, okay.
Utility deposits. In some cases, we have people who cannot afford their medications that they need. One that's, veterans with heart problems or diabetes. We have been known to spend that money on medicines for them when they cannot afford it, because a lot of them do not have insurance. And while they can go to the VA hospital and get medical care and some of their medications, sometimes it's difficult to get over there or whatever. So we have been known to spend it locally on that. From our poppy funds. And
I learned recently, and I didn't know this, and I guess I should have, but I didn't. But there's 2 types of hospitals. You have the VA hospital, and then you have the military hospital, and they're not one and the same at all.
They are not.
And I thought they were both under the same operation, and that is not true.
I don't know about the hierarchy of that, but I do know that veterans cannot go to a military hospital. We ran into this personally a couple of years ago when we were in Kansas visiting my son, and my husband took very ill, and my son called the base hospital, and they told him no, we could not bring him there. We had to go to the community hospital there. But yes, it's 2 totally different things, and a lot of the little niceties for the patients are not paid for by the hospital. Every month, Carthage Unit 353 sends $50 to the VA hospital in Waco. This started out, I don't know, a year or 2 before I even became a member here. There was no funds for snacks in the afternoon for the veterans. And this seems like such a minor detail, but if you're confined to that hospital, and a lot of them do not have family nearby to help them, or just do not have family. And we started sending $50 a month were what we originally call the ice cream fund, so they could have ice cream in the afternoons. Now it's just called our VA gift of the month, and we send $50, which comes up to $600 a year that this little unit has to raise just for that one project.
And you think that that's not important, but to have a soft drink or a little scoop of ice cream in the middle of the day, or a candy bar, makes all the difference in the world, as you point out, as you're confined. That's something that becomes a special thing for them.
It certainly does. And something else that I had not thought of until I got into this organization. A lot of these veterans are there for long-term care, and a lot of them are miles and miles from home. What do you do at Christmas time if you're a veteran there and you want to send your daughter a Christmas gift? You have no money. There is the Christmas gift shop, which I might ought to wait till closer to Christmas to tell you about that.
We'll talk about both times.
Yeah.
All right.
We contributed this last year. We contributed $200 to that, and what it is, the volunteers who work there go out and buy, for example, curling irons and things that maybe the veteran there has no use for, but he would like to send to his daughter or family, and they gift wrap them and mail them to the families wherever they may be. And these gift shops are sponsored strictly by the auxiliaries across the state of Texas, and I'm very proud to be a part of that.
Very good. Now, you keep referring to Waco as the VA, and I know that's probably the closest VA hospital in the state of Texas to us, except to us, Shreveport VA Hospital is close. Are you trapped by state lines?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Now, we do have some people in Panola County who do volunteer work at the VA in Shreveport, but we are part of the Texas department, so to get credit for it, we have to do it in Texas. But yes, we do have some who live over at Wascom and what have you that actually do hours. Of course, where I am and working 40 hours a week, as most of our auxiliary members do now, we don't get a chance to go and do volunteer hours. So we try to contribute funds and support in other ways.
Let's talk about some of the upcoming events, because we want to cover these before we run out of time. And I can see where we can get in and talk about the organization and what they're doing and
I could
why.
talk for hours about
and because they're doing so many good things,
Yes.
and these are positive things for people that have spent their time in defense of our country. So they certainly deserve all the respect that they can receive and all the help. But upcoming events now, we're going to have a rummage sale coming up just around the corner next week.
We are. As I said, we mentioned some of these projects, and we have a lot more that we take care of and that we do. September 9th at our local post out here on the Loop, we're going to have a rummage sale starting at 8 o'clock that morning. Right now, we would like any donations of anything you might have, Jerry, or anyone out there might have that they would like to contribute that we could sell, just so it's good, clean, usable goods.
Could I clean out my closet?
I would be delighted to pick it up myself.
And I think that this would be a good idea for everybody to maybe look in their closet and see what they may have.
A couple of things that we would like to, if the men will clean out their shops or tools. Men are always looking for tools at garage sales and rummage sales. So we would like any tools, especially our outside equipment, and children's clothing. Most of our auxiliary members are like me. Our children are grown and gone. I do not have small things, but any good, clean, usable, sellable goods, we would be glad. And if I could, I'd give you a couple of phone numbers to call.
Please do. Yeah.
We'll come pick it up. If you call 693-9714 or 693-9050. Now, we'll pick up goods there, or if any of the ladies out there are interested in joining us, we'll take calls at both those numbers.
You can answer questions at
We
those two
certainly
numbers right
can.
there. All right, now, the rummage sale will be open to the public.
Yes.
And if you haven't, or you're unaware of where the American Legion Hall is located now, y'all have been moved now for 4 or 5 years.
Yes.
But some people may not know where.
Well, it's out on the Loop, just south of Highway 79. It's right next door to where Service Motors used to be. Most people know where the Chrysler place used to be. We're right next door. If you can find it, you can find us, and we'd be glad to have you.
Head toward the Shreveport Highway 79 north and turn south like you're going to Nacogdoches,
Yes.
and you will find them and they will be on the west side of the road. How will that be?
Oh.
You can't miss them. There's a big sign there, but that's where they go. Huge parking lot.
Yes.
And there's
Plenty of parking.
A
It will
lot
be
of area there to do
This
with.
will be inside where it's air conditioned.
All right.
We're not going to stand out on that hot lot.
But plenty of parking space for
Yes.
those that want to come in and
Yes,
shop.
we do.
All right, the 3rd District Convention comes up on the 14th. We mentioned again that you're vice
Yes.
president of
Yes.
that, and congratulations to having
Thank you.
those extra responsibilities. And then after that, we have November the 11th.
November 11th is Veterans Day, but to our auxiliary, it's also Poppy Day, and I don't know exactly what day of the week this falls on, but on one of the days near November 11th, you will find us out on the street corners coming into your businesses or wherever we can to get donations for poppies. And like I said, all this money goes strictly to the veterans, and we're proud to be part of it, and we hope for a better year every year.
Did I pay attention now? You said 2/3 of that stays local?
2/3 of that stays locally. It sure does.
Give me an A, teacher. All right, how about that? All right, then we have you have a raffle set for December.
We hope to. We have had one of our members has donated a $75 gift certificate from Walmart. We're allowed to have 2 raffles a year, and we have not had one yet this year. So we're going to do something to put some money back into our funds before we start trying to do Christmas gifts for needy children and for veterans' families around. We always spend a good bit on that every year.
So that will be your fundraiser for December.
Yes.
And ongoing, continually, we've talked about the support of the VA hospital at Waco, and of course, each 4th Saturday. And if you listen to KGAS, you hear that there's bingo out there for those that enjoy bingo.
There's bingo at every Saturday, I believe, out at Panola Nursing Home. But on the 4th Saturday of the month, we get to go out there and do it. And I say get to because to me it's not a responsibility, it is fun. If those people have any more fun than we do, I think it should be outlawed. We get excited for them when they bingo. It seems like such a small thing to those of us who are up and around, but that 50-cent prize for a simple bingo or $1 for blackout, and you really get some people excited.
Oh, yeah.
And they really enjoy it, and we enjoy it too.
It's the sharing that they probably enjoy more than anything else.
It is. The sharing and the simple fact of winning something, no matter what it is, we all like to win. And I'm proud to be a part of that.
We're
I enjoy
mindset
it.
that
Yes,
way, aren't we? We
yes,
really are. All right, let's review again because the upcoming event will be the rummage sale September the 9th, and I want to give you those numbers again. If you have merchandise that you would like to contribute to the American Legion Auxiliary Unit 353's rummage sale, call 693-9714, 693-9714, or the other number is 693-9050, that's 9050. And someone will see that what you have set aside will be picked up and placed in the sale. Now, you did say that you want it to be usable or clean.
Yes, yes.
No repairs on anything.
We would prefer not, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If it's some simple repairs, yes. You can also call those numbers if you want to join us.
All right.
What
is your deadline for collecting for the rummage sale?
Well, September 8th.
Okay.
We'll take it up to, now the night before, if you have something on September 8th, just bring it on out to the Legion Hall. We'll take it out there because we'll be out there pricing.
And then the general public will be invited. And we'll be talking more about this as we come up and get set for September the 9th and let you be reminded here on KGAS that you can go out there and shop. We know from Swap Shop that one man's unwanted could be someone else's treasure.
It is. I have found several treasures myself on Swap Shop, and you'll never know how much we appreciate you having us on here this morning. And I keep saying us because I'm representing the auxiliary, not for myself. I have found out there are units in the state of Texas who would just short of kill for 30 minutes of airtime on their local radio stations, and you and KGS have made us the envy of many units across the state of Texas, and I'm very proud of it.
Well, thank you very kind. Sallie, we're glad that you had time to come by and talk about the American Legion Auxiliary Unit 353. I'm going to give you those telephone numbers again, if I may, ma'am.
Please do.
693-9714 or 693-9050.